Hi guys, Neil here at FaceliftInteriors. Happy New Year to all of you first of all. Hope you all had a lovely Christmas and New Year. Sorry we haven't been so active on Instagram and Facebook last few weeks, but we've just been getting a few things off the ground for the new year. Back with a bang for our first video 2020. We've got a lovely two-seater sofa to recover and refurbish in a lovely John Brown fabric. Got some big plans for this year, really excited. Once again, many thanks for all your support and lovely messages and kind words. Yeah, this really does mean the world to us. It's lovely to have everyone's support. Cheers.
In this video, we're going to show you step by step how to reupholster a sofa. Let's get started. What I'm doing here is I'm marking points on the fabric, so when I take them apart I know how to line them back up again. We do this on a lot of reupholstery jobs just to make sure when you're sewing it all back up, it all lines up properly again, how it's supposed to be. Now I'm removing the old legs and the bottom fabric. So here I am removing the old fabric using staple pincers. I wanted to get a close-up shot of the technique used to get this old fabric off with the old staples. See the way I'm sort of snapping my wrist back to pop the old staples out, pop the old fabric off with it. Now I'm unpicking the old fabric with a Stanley knife. There's a technique to it. Now I'm giving you a close-up shot of what I'm actually doing. I'm picking stitch by stitch with the blade. So this is the start of the cutting process, cutting each panel, and as you can see I'm nipping all them points that I marked earlier, so I know how the fabric goes back together. As you can see here, I'm cutting 1 centimetre away for a seam allowance because fabric is folded where it's been together for so long. And here I am folding the fabric in half, so I'm getting a perfect copy each side, marking halfway and getting a perfect copy. Now we're on to sewing. This is a real big sewing job, a lot of cutting, a lot of sewing. Making sure all the nips line up together is really important, just to make sure the whole thing goes back together exactly how it was. Here I'm attaching a fly to the fabric, which is the white bit of fabric. A fly is basically a bit of fabric that is sewn on to the cover that we use to pull on a particular part of the sofa. So a fly will go on to the bottom of the arm so you can pull it from underneath and get a nice tight fix. So as it all starts to come together, you can see that it gets quite heavy because it is one big cover, this sofa. It's not like most sofas where you sew the seat and you put it on separately and then you do the back and you put it on separately. This is all sewn as one piece. There's a lot of sewing, a lot of flies. It's quite heavy to try and keep it up on the machine and try and keep the needle straight on the fabric. It can be a lot of work. Here I'm top stitching the sofa, which gives us a nice beautiful seam line, as you can see here in the close-up. It's a technique we use quite often. It's often used in leather, but we use it in fabric as well. Here I'm repadding the sofa using a layer of Dacron. As you can see, we're gluing it down with upholstery adhesive. Put new padding on the arms and the back to give it a nice soft feel again, as the padding that was on there before is worn down. Now we're applying the fabric. It's one big piece, it's all sewn together, so it takes a while because there's a lot of flies to pull through. Here I'm using a staple gun that's connected to a compressor, and as you can see I'm pulling the fabric up to lose the fullness and working in the pleats. So now I'm dressing the pleats on the arm and stapling as I go. The pleats have to face down, always down. As you can see I'm going one way, and then as I come around the corner I start going the other way. The pleats have to face down so they don't gather dust. Now I'm smoothing out the outside back, pulling out the fullness and stapling it at the bottom. Here I'm measuring and cutting the bottom border for the sofa, and I'm doing all four sides of the sofa. This yellow cardboard strip is called back tack. You staple the fabric on first, then the back tack goes on, and as you pull it up you can see you get a nice clean finish. And we use it for backs of all sofas. Off camera I have unpicked the old cushion faces, so here I am just copying the cushion faces and making nips as I go. This is the beginning of sewing up the seat cushion, so I'm sewing the zip together. There's two pieces. And here's the second piece. So now I'm sewing up the piping that is the cording that goes around the cushion. Now I'm adding the piping onto the cushion. Now I'm attaching the cushion border to the cushion facing. And now I'm sewing the zip onto the border.